is I was watching Arm Wrestling News. That's Pradeep's channel, and he was talking with Alex Kurdecha, and he was talking about how you guys did. I think he came over. I think he had a big match against your boy Rick.
Yeah.
Okay, now how long? Because I really don't remember that. I think that might have when I stepped away for a little while and I was busy in other businesses and all. So how long after the Levon match was that for you?
Well, it would have still been the summer, I think. So I don't know if it was like maybe a couple months, I don't remember exactly. I think it was before I did my big tour. I don't remember if it was before or after my stem cell shots. I don't remember. Yeah, it was probably within months. I really don't. It might even been the fall. Geez, I don't know. But definitely within 3 or 4 months, I think.
Now, were you still severely hurt? Because we know that you got hurt against Levon with the right arm and all. So were you still hurt from that?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I still have the tear. Like, I still have it. I mean, yeah, I think when Alex came, I was probably still, and Paul, my memory's terrible. It's really bad. I'm sorry. I'm probably thinking that when he was here, it was well before Prudnik. So I was probably just coasting, just enjoying training, working on getting myself healthy. But I'm sure that my arm was still probably, doctors would have been telling me I was an idiot for putting it on the table, but I did. I was on the table like 8 days after the event, and I didn't stop. I arm wrestled every single day with a torn bicep.
Now, how did you do that? Were you going like maybe like 50%, or were you still going hard on your right?
Oh, no. I remember. So I remember like after the injury, like day 3 or day 4, I'm like trying to move it more. I'm like trying to load it up with like, a grocery bag, like doing a little bit of movement. It didn't take me long. Like I think by like day 6 or so, I was able to move the bicep fully. I remember I tried to do a workout on day 7 and I'm like, no. Like I felt it like tearing more. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I remember day 8, I was down in Picton where I grew up, and I went and hung out with my club. And I was just like, guys, I'm like, just hold my hand, and let's just please just go super slow with me. And that's what we did. Just really gentle, really slow. Guys were really nice to me. And that's what I did for like a week or 2. Like I just was like, guys, I got a torn bicep, just go slow with me. And we just do holds and holds and holds. And so I basically rehabbed myself through arm wrestling. So most of my work, and I didn't put any pressure on myself at all during that time period. Like I wasn't even training at all, like in the gym. I was just going to practices, and I would practice like every day. And I would just tell guys, just be slow with me. And that's all, guys. And no, there was no like redlining or fit. It was just controlled, hold. Everything was easy. Yeah, it worked great. Like for arm wrestling, like I healed my arm wrestling.
That's amazing. That is. But what I wanted to get on is I just wanted to find out what went on with you and Alex. So how long did he come in for? And I seen that you guys were pulling left hand, and you had a
so we never released the right. People are always like, Devon is a coward. He would never, man. We arm wrestled a ton. So funny. Yeah, let me tell you, Alex is a guy who can get that number 1 spot for sure. Like Alex has got a ton of talent. What a brute of a human being he is. He is super strong, smart guy. He got the capacity to hit that number 1 spot. When we messed around, we messed around probably a lot more left-handed because he had a match. So before the match, we were pulling left hand because his match was on the right. After his match,
what happened with the left hand though? Was he beating you or?
Oh yeah, he beat me up. Listen, if you want to make it long enough, if you want to extend things I'll pass him eventually. Like eventually I can get him the gas out, but that's after he, drills me for like 5 minutes. Um, and in the right, we pulled a bit afterwards, and I'd say, it's probably a bit of a similar story, but probably not as bad. Like I would say his top end is definitely higher than mine. And I would say that my persistence will get him. And I think that it would get him faster in the right than it would in the left. So I don't know where it would sit in an actual match.
But is it really fair to say that, knowing that you have this bicep injury, like say pre Levon match, would it still be the same outcome?
I would say that consistently, Alex is a guy who's going to have more top end than me. But I can say that for really a majority of my peers. Like when you look at the guys that I compete with, most of the guys have more top end than me. It's just at what point do I turn it around? Do I turn it around in time? Do I turn around the setup? Do I turn around in round one, round two? Where do I get them in time? Because, if we do enough, I'll probably burn out anybody. But I have to turn it around typically within 3 or 4 rounds. Yeah, look at that's that. Look at, and I said that name earlier. I said you don't get to Levon, in my opinion, without going through Alex Kurdecha. Like, and I wouldn't get to him without going through Alex.
Now, do you think you can beat him in a super match? Because I'm hearing that you gotta tire him out and outlast him, but is it going to be time enough in best of 5?
I'll say two things. I have to be careful. I get too excited. I should stay heavyweight if I'm smart. If I'm a smart guy, I make my home in the heavyweight, and occasionally I pop up. I got a match with Gennady right now, so I'm feeling all invigorated, and I'm, eating my freaking spaghetti, and yeah, in my head, I always feel like I can beat anybody because I'm kind of twisted, right? You never know what the future is. You never know. If I beat Gennady, I will probably go a step further. Step further. Victory will keep me marching forward.